Have you ever felt like you're drowning in your own to-do list? You're not alone. And the solution isn't what you think. Meet Sarah, a marketing manager and mother of two, responding to emails at 11 p.m. while her kids asked why mommy was always busy. James, a college student with 17 tabs open, 3 assignments due, and zero focus. Marcus, a freelancer who said yes to everything and had time for nothing he loved. These aren't fictional characters, they're composites of real people I've worked with. And here's what changed everything for them. They stopped trying to do more and started doing what actually mattered. By the end of this video, you'll discover 5 principles so practical they feel almost obvious once you see them. But stick with me, because in a few minutes, I'll reveal the integration framework, a simple system that prevents you from ever feeling overwhelmed again. Once you understand it, you won't look at your daily life the same way. Think of your life as a smartphone. Right now, you've got dozens of apps running in the background, draining your battery, slowing everything down. We're going to close those apps. We're going to optimize your operating system. And we're going to make sure you have energy for what truly matters. Chapter 1. The Clarity Filter, Debugging Your Mental Software. Your attention is like RAM in a computer. You only have so much. Yet most of us are running programs we installed years ago and forgot about. Old commitments, outdated goals, relationships that crashed long ago but still consume processing power. Sarah discovered this the hard way. She was on 3 volunteer committees, had signed up for a book club she never attended, and was still paying for a gym membership she hadn't used in 8 months. Each one was a small drain. Together, they were crushing her. The first principle is the clarity filter. It's your debugging tool. Here's the 3-question framework. Does this align with who I'm becoming? Will this matter in 5 years? Does this energize or deplete me? If you can't answer yes to at least 2 questions, it doesn't belong in your system. It's bloatware. Delete it. Here's how Sarah applied it. She looked at her calendar for the week. The volunteer committee for her daughter's school? Yes, on all 3. The other 2 committees she joined out of guilt? 0 out of 3. She resigned from both that week. The book club? She actually loved reading but hated the social obligation. She quit the club but kept reading. Energy restored. That gym membership? She realized she preferred home workouts. Cancelled it, bought resistance bands, saved money and mental space. Within 2 weeks, Sarah had 4 extra hours in her week. Not because she stopped doing important things, because she stopped doing unimportant things disguised as important. Your turn. Take out your phone right now. How many apps do you have? How many do you actually use? That's a mirror of your life. Start there. Once you know what matters, you must know what drains you. Enter the Energy Audit. Chapter 2. The Energy Audit, Identifying System Drains. Remember James, our college student with 17 tabs open? He wasn't lazy. He was running too many processes simultaneously and crashing constantly. Not all tasks are created equal. Some give you energy, others drain it. Yet, we treat them all the same, like they all deserve equal processing power. They don't. The second principle is conducting an energy audit. Map your week like a programmer debugging slow code. Which activities are memory leaks? Which ones optimize performance? James did this exercise and discovered something shocking. His study group? Total energy drain. 3 hours of people complaining about workload with minimal actual studying. His morning runs before class? Pure energy boost. Yet he'd been skipping runs to attend study group. Here's the framework. List every recurring activity in your week. Rate each one. Energy gain, energy neutral, or energy drain. Calculate total time in each category. Here's what James discovered. Study group, energy drain, 6 hours per week. Morning runs, energy gain, 3 hours per week. Solo study sessions, energy gain, 8 hours per week. Social media scrolling, energy drain, 10 hours per week. Most people discover they're spending 60% of their time on energy drains and 10% on energy gains. That's like trying to drive with a parking brake on. James made 3 changes. He quit the study group and started studying alone, with focused 90-minute blocks. He protected his morning runs like they were exam dates. And he identified one class that consistently drained him, realized it wasn't required for his major, and dropped it. His GPA went up. His stress went down. Same amount of time. Better allocation of energy. Marcus, our freelancer, applied this to client work. He realized one client consumed 40% of his time but provided only 15% of his income and 100% of his headaches. He politely ended that relationship and suddenly had space for projects he actually enjoyed. Energy isn't just about feeling good, it's about strategic resource allocation. You're the systems administrator of your own life. Act like it. You've debugged your system and mapped your energy. Now, let's make you actually productive. The single focus principle changes everything. Chapter 3. The single focus principle, serial processing over parallel. Multitasking is a lie. Your brain can't do it. When you think you're multitasking, you're actually task switching. And every switch costs you. Research from Stanford University found that heavy multitaskers are actually worse at filtering irrelevant information and switching between tasks than people who focus on one thing at a time. The average person takes 23 minutes to fully refocus after an interruption. Every time you check your phone while working, you're not losing 30 seconds. You're losing 23 minutes of deep focus. The third principle is single focus. Your processor works best on one task at a time. Not one task while monitoring 3 others. One task, period. Sarah implemented this with what she called phone-free zones. Dinner with her kids? Phone in another room. No exceptions. First hour of work? Phone on airplane mode. Client meetings? Full attention. No, laptop open, just in case. Here's what shocked her. Her kids started talking more. Not because they had more to say, but because they knew she was actually listening. Her work quality improved so much that her boss commented on it within 3 weeks. James applied single focus to studying. Instead of studying with his phone nearby, just for emergencies, he left it in his dorm room and went to the library. One subject, one location, one block of time. His retention doubled. The framework is simple. Choose one task, eliminate all other inputs for a set time. Complete it or reach a natural stopping point. Then, and only then, move to the next task. Revolutionary? No. Effective? Absolutely. Try this today. Pick one important task. Set a timer for 25 minutes. Do only that task. No phone, no email, no quick checks. Just that one thing. Notice how much you accomplish. Notice how different it feels. Focus gets you results, but comfort keeps you stagnant. The next principle separates thinkers from doers. Chapter 4. The comfort threshold, stress testing your system. Growth happens at the edge of your comfort zone. Not where you panic, not where you stagnate, right at the edge. Marcus, our freelancer, was terrified of networking events. He'd avoid them, make excuses, stay home. But he knew his business needed connections. So he made a rule. Attend one event per month. Just one, not 10, not every week. 1. First event, awkward. He left after 20 minutes. Second event, slightly better. He actually had one conversation. By the 6th event, he was comfortable. By the 12th, he'd landed 3 clients. The fourth principle is expanding your comfort threshold through controlled exposure. Think of it like stress testing software. You apply increasing load until you know the breaking point. Then you optimize. Here's the framework. Identify one thing that scares you but won't destroy you if it goes wrong. Break it into the smallest possible version. Do that small version this week. Repeat with slightly bigger versions. Sarah used this for public speaking. She was terrified of presenting at work, so she started small. She volunteered to give updates in her team meeting. Just 2 minutes. Then she presented to a slightly larger group. Then, at a department meeting, 6 months later, she presented the quarterly results to the entire company. And she didn't just survive, she excelled. James applied this to asking questions in class. He was afraid of looking stupid, so he started by asking one question per week in his smallest class, then his larger classes, then during office hours. By semester's end, professors knew him by name and he was learning more than ever. The secret? Discomfort is a muscle. You can train it. Each repetition makes the next one easier, not because the task changes, but because you change. What's one thing you've been avoiding? What's the smallest possible version you could do this week? Do that. You've got the tools. Now here's how they work together. The integration framework brings it all home. Chapter 5. The integration framework, your system architecture. Here's what Sarah, James, and Marcus all discovered. These principles aren't separate tools. They're components of the same system. And when you integrate them properly, something remarkable happens. Think of it like building a machine. The clarity filter is your intake valve, controlling what enters the system. The energy audit is your monitoring dashboard, showing you what's working and what's failing. Single focus is your processing unit, doing the actual work efficiently. And the comfort threshold is your upgrade protocol, constantly expanding what your system can handle. Here's the integration framework, the promise I made at the beginning. Your daily operating system, morning reset, 5 minutes. Run the clarity filter. What are your 3 priorities today? Note 10, 3. Write them down. Midday energy check, 2 minutes. Quick audit. Which activities drained you this morning? Which energized you? Adjust your afternoon accordingly. Afternoon, deep work, 90 minutes minimum. Single focus on your highest priority. One task, full attention, no interruptions. Evening expansion, 15 minutes. Do one small thing outside your comfort zone. Make the call. Have the conversation. Try the new thing. Night review, 3 minutes. What worked today? What didn't? What will you adjust tomorrow? Total time investment? About 2 hours. Return on investment? A completely different quality of life. Sarah now leaves work at 5 p.m. most days. Her productivity is higher than when she was working until 8. She has dinner with her kids. She reads before bed. She's not superhuman. She's strategic. James graduated with honors, got into his top choice graduate program, and actually enjoyed his final year. He didn't work harder, he worked smarter. Marcus doubled his income while working fewer hours. He takes Fridays off now. He only works with clients he likes. He's building the business he always wanted. Same principles, different lives, same potential in you. Your next move, strategic doing over strategic thinking. Here's the truth. Everything I've shared is worthless unless you act on it. Knowledge without implementation is just entertainment. And you didn't watch this far to be entertained. So here's your challenge. Pick one principle, not all 5. One. The one that resonated most. The one that made you think, I need that. Then do one thing in the next 48 hours. Not next week. Not when you have time. In the next 48 hours. If it's the clarity filter, identify one thing you're going to stop doing and actually stop it. If it's the energy audit, map your week and cut one energy drain. If it's single focus, block 25 minutes tomorrow for one important task with 0 distractions. If it's comfort threshold, do one small scary thing this week. If it's the integration framework, try just the morning reset tomorrow. One principle, one action, 48 hours. Because here's what I know. The people who transform their lives aren't the ones who know the most. They're the ones who act on what they know. They're the ones who treat their life like a system they're actively optimizing, not a circumstance they're passively experiencing. You've got the blueprint now, the debugging tools, the optimization protocols. Your life is the software. You're the engineer. What are you going to code? If this helped you, like and share it with someone who's drowning in overwhelm. Subscribe, because we're diving deeper into life optimization every single week. The next video drops in 3 days, and trust me, you don't want to miss it. Now stop watching, start doing. Your optimized life is waiting.